Lesson 3.4 is on solving multi-step inequalities. So if you look on page 186, the Math Club members are selling Pi Day t-shirts for $7.50 each. The goal is to raise $500 by Friday. The figure at the right shows how much they have raised by Wednesday. What is the minimum number of t-shirts they must still sell in order to reach their goal? And explain your reasoning. So based off the information, they came up with this inequality. They've already raised $337.50. In addition to that, they need to raise $7.50 times X, X being the number of t-shirts that they're going to sell. And since they're wanting to raise at least $500, this total amount that they're raising needs to be greater than or equal to $500. So this inequality, we could actually solve this. We could subtract $337.50 on both sides, and then we could divide by $7.50, and then it comes out to X is greater than or equal to 21 2/3. So they have to sell at least 21 2/3 t-shirts. Probably nobody's going to want 2/3 of a t-shirt, so they're probably going to have to sell 22 t-shirts at least. So we're going to look at the steps involved with solving these multi-step inequalities. If you look at problem 1, it says what are the solutions of this inequality. So the first thing is they got the variable term by itself by subtracting 9 on both sides. And then the variable is being multiplied by 4. They divided by 4 on both sides. They got t is greater than 3. So t is greater than 3. Anything greater than 3 would work. They just checked the answer. They checked 3 to see if it worked out. And technically this would be, the symbol was actually greater than. So is 21 greater than 21? No, it's not greater than. So that we know that end point of it actually equaling 3 doesn't work. And then they tried 4. They worked it out. 25 is greater than 21. That works. So it looks like we should have the correct solution here. So they got it 1. They're asking what are the solutions of these inequalities, and check your solutions. We're going to go through A and B on this. If you want to, if you're watching this as a video, you can just pause the video, try and work it out, and then watch the video and see if it comes out how you had it. So for number 1A, the first thing we can try to get the variable term by itself. They're subtracting 7. We can add 7 on both sides of the inequality. And then they're multiplying by -6. We can divide by -6. When you divide by a negative, that's going to switch your inequality symbol around. And so the answer would be A is greater than or equal to -4. For part B, variables on the other side, you can switch everything around if you'd like, but I'm just going to work it out how it is. That 5, there's no sign to the left of it, means it's a positive 5, so we could get rid of that by subtracting 5 on both sides. Make sure you bring that down as a -3n. Variables being multiplied, so we can divide by -3. And we divided by a negative is going to switch our inequality around. Negative divided by negative is a positive. And then especially if you were going to graph this, you might want to switch that and make it look like n is less than 3. Okay, and again, for that problem, if you pick a number less than 3, 0 is less than 3, so that'd be an easy one to check. So if you put in a 0 back in the inequality and see if it works. So we're testing this. 3 times 0 is 0. So basically, is -4 less than 5? It is. So at least that one's correct. And then you could test your border point. If you put a 3 in, you would end up getting -4 is less than 4. -4 is not less than 4. or rather negative 4, sorry. Negative 4 is not less than negative 4. But the numbers are the same, so that shows that that's kind of our border point for that inequality. And we could have done the same idea on part A. Part A, actually, if you try negative 4 on both sides, you would get 17 is less than or equal to 17. And it is equal, so that works. And that's our border point. So we would include the negative 4 on that solution if we were graphing it. If you look at problem 2, in a community garden, you want to fence in a vegetable garden that is adjacent to your friend's garden. You have at most 42 feet of fence. What are the possible lengths for your garden? So perimeter is of a rectangle is 2 times length plus 2 times the width. I would question on this one what they're doing here. They've got a double fence. So I don't know if we necessarily need a double fence or not. So I would argue maybe we only need 2 lengths, and then if this is 12, we will need 12 feet on this side. So 2 lengths plus 12, and we've got 42 feet. So 2L plus 12 is less than or equal to 42. If you subtract 12 and then divide by 2, you get L is less than or equal to 15, which means the length could be 15 feet or less. If you notice with how the book worked it out, if we do that double fence of 12 feet there, their answer is less than or equal to 9. So they either have to have a length of 9 feet or less, or they can have an area of 15, or a length of 15 feet or less. And that's going to have a big impact on what area our garden could be. So again, I kind of question that we don't really need a double fence. So I think how we did it over here probably makes just maybe a little bit more sense. If you look at the got it 2, you want to make a rectangular banner that's 18 feet long. I'm going to draw a picture. 18 feet long. You have no more than 48 feet of trim for the banner. What are the possible widths of the banner? Okay, so we've got 2 lengths and 2 widths, and the total has to be less than or equal to 48. We know our length is 18. So 2 times 18 is 36. And then we can solve this. Subtract 36 on both sides gets the variable term by itself. And then they're multiplying, so divide by 2. So W is less than or equal to 6. So what that means is we could have the width could be 6 feet or less, basically. We'd want to write a sentence out about that, but I think you get the idea. Okay, the width would have to be 6 feet or less. Problem 3, they're asking which is a solution of this inequality. So there's 4 options there. What they did, they went ahead and solved this. So first of all, we have parentheses that we need to distribute into. So distribute that, and then we've got some like terms here we can combine. That would be a negative 1t. And then you could subtract 3 on both sides. And then divide by negative 1. Divided by a negative, notice the inequality was greater than or equal to, and it changed to less than or equal to when they divided by a negative. So t is less than or equal to 8. And then what we can do is look at the answer choices and see if there's anything that's 8 or lower, and that would be choice A, which is exactly 8. So A would be the answer to that problem. The got it 3 is similar, only they aren't giving this as a multiple choice. So basically we're just going to solve this thing. For this one, if you want to add the opposite here, you can. You need to think of this as distributing a -2. So that'd be a negative 8m plus negative 14, or minus 8m minus 14 if you want. And then we got some like terms we can combine on the right side here. I'm going to go ahead and put the negative 8m first. I just like to have that variable term first. That would be plus negative 9. And then we can get rid of that by adding 9 on both sides. And then last step is they're multiplying, so we can divide by negative 8. And we have to divide by a negative here, so that's going to switch around our inequality symbol. And so I'm just going to switch this around. It opens towards the -3. So m is less than or equal to 3 would be the solution for that problem. So anything -3 or lower would work for that problem. The next part talks about if we have variables on both sides of the inequality. So for those, we've talked about with equations before, we want to get our variable term on one side, constant term on the other side. And like we've talked about, if you get rid of the one with the smaller coefficient, you won't have to divide by a negative, and you won't have to switch your inequality at the end. So on this problem, 3n is less than 6n, so if you subtract 3n on both sides, that gives us a positive coefficient to work with. And then they're subtracting, so if you add 1 on both sides and then divide by 3, and you can see we didn't have to divide by negative, we didn't have to change our inequality symbol direction, so n is greater than 3 would be the answer there. So if you look at the got it 4a, we're just going to work this one out. And again, feel free to pause and try and work it out on your own first, anytime you're watching these videos. For this one on the right side, if you want to add the opposite, you can. That's like a -2b. So we've got a 3b and a -2b. -2b is the smaller coefficient. So if you want to not have to deal with negatives as much and not have to switch your inequality sign around, that would probably be the easier choice, to add 2b on both sides first. You subtract 12 on both sides, would be 5b is greater than 15, and then they're multiplying, so you divide by 5, so b is greater than 3. Top of page 189, it talks about situations where the variables cancel out. So we have things that are always true, we have things that are never true. So if you get the variables to cancel and you get something that's always true, such as 4 is greater than 1, then the solutions are all real numbers. If you come up with something that's never true, like 9 is less than or equal to -5, that's not true, then it has no solution. So if you look at problem 5, part A, they distributed first of all, then they added 8a on both sides of the inequality. And what happens is the variables cancel on both sides. We end up with 10 is greater than or equal to 10. Well, 10 is equal to 10, so that works. It is greater than or equal. It's equal. So it's always true, so that means we have all real numbers. Okay, it's kind of like infinitely many solutions here. Anything will work. Part B, same idea. This one, over on the right side, they combined like terms and then subtracted 6m on both sides. And they ended up with -5 is greater than 7. Well, -5 is not greater than 7, and so that means we have no solution. There's no possible number we can put in place of m that would make this inequality work. So let's go ahead and look at the got it 5. So part A, If we subtract 5n on both sides, we've got 9 is less than or equal to negative 1. Is 9 less than or equal to negative 1? The answer is no, which means we have no solution. Part B. Over on the right side, we can combine like terms. Make sure you see that as a negative 1x. You can add the opposite if you want to see that. And then we're going to try to get our variable on one side. So subtract 6x, and it happens that they both cancel out again, and we end up with 8 is greater than or equal to 2. 8 is always greater than or equal to 2. It's always greater than 2, so all real numbers. We could put any number we want to in this inequality and it'll work. We'll look at a couple problems on the lesson check, starting with number 2. So number 2 with the parentheses there, we would want to go ahead and distribute first. So 2t plus 4, and then bring everything else down. Here, if you want to add the opposite, you can. That would be negative 1t plus 4 is greater than or equal to negative 1. And then subtract 4 and divide by negative 1. So here we are, last step, dividing by negative. That's going to switch our inequality sign around. So t is less than or equal to 5. And then let's go ahead and look at number 8. Your friend says the solutions of the inequality listed here are all real numbers. Do you agree with your friend? And explain. So let's just take this off to the side here and work through it. So if we distribute first, you can add the opposite here. Subtract 2x on both sides. And we come out with negative 6 is greater than negative 6. Well, a number is not greater than itself, so this actually would have no solution. If you look at the follow-up question, it says, what if the inequality symbol were greater than or equal to? So instead of greater than, if it was greater than or equal to, we'd have negative 6 is greater than or equal to negative 6, and then that would work. Then that would be actually all real numbers. So just sometimes a difference of just a slight variation on the inequality symbol can make a difference on no solution versus all real numbers. So this gives you an idea of how to solve multi-step inequalities.